Hello everyone and welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Today we're having a battle against Dillon, or we had a battle against Dillon rather. It was on my stream, I'm assuming, back a few days ago or a week or so, or something like that. I don't know how this battle ended up, so we'll just have to see, won't we? Because yeah, that's how I roll for these battles. So we have a 21 turn battle, so a pretty long battle, so we'll have to see how it all goes. So, Dillon starts off with his Golem, and I go out with my Garchomp, no Extra Drill. Just trying to guess what I was starting off with. So I start off with Extra Drill, obviously Mold Breaker, breaks the mold and stuff, Air Balloon, Float in the air, etc. So then I go for the Earthquake. I'm surprised he didn't switch out here, and I go for the the Wipeout there, and it wipes him out. He didn't have Sturdy at all, so unfortunately didn't manage to set up any Stealth Rocks on me, which is good. He sends out his Azumarill, which is obviously going to go to town on me, thanks to the Aqua Jet, so I switch straight out and send out my lovely Greninja, who is going to take an Aqua Jet reasonably well. Not brilliantly, but reasonably well. Obviously, he goes for Waterfall rather than Aqua Jet, so he might have been faster than him in the first place, but then again, we're not a speedy Extra Drill, so he might not have. So then he withdraws his Azumarill knowing a Grass Knot or similar is coming, and sends out a Dragonite instead, which is also going to take a Grass Knot pretty well, resisting it a quarter times. So obviously I changed type to Grass, and that's gonna. Dragonite is fairly heavy, but it's not gonna counter the chances there. And he withdraws. He does a double switch and withdraws his Dragonite and goes back out to Azumarill, assuming I'm going to go for an Ice Beam, which indeed I do go for. So he's just playing around with it at the moment, knowing that I'm going to choose these certain moves and switching out to Pokemon that are going to resist them. So I was like, okay, do I double predict him, or do I counter predict him and go for an Ice Beam again, predicting a switch out to Dragonite, which I think he does again. No, he sends out Aegislash this time. I think he'll probably use Ice Beam though, you see. No, I use Grass Knot again. Okay, fair enough. Just trying to predict my own predictions. So, very interesting. Okay. There we are. There's the Aegislash there. I mean, the Grass Knot going for the Aegislash. He uses King's Shield. Fortunately, I'm a special attacker anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. The attack, at least. I go for the Dark Pulse, which changed my type to Dark, and then doesn't do much there. So, he's going to withdraw his Aegislash again, now that he knows I'm going to use Dark Pulse, because he can't use his King's Shield anymore. I obviously go for the Dark Pulse here, and Lucario is going to resist that pretty damn well, not doing much damage at all. So I know now I'm a Dark type, I don't want to really be in there too much longer, so I switch out and send out my Charizard, predicting a Fighting type move and thinking, yep, we can take that. He Mega Evolves his Lucario to get a pretty beastly Lucario there, so got to be afraid of this adaptability here. He then goes for a, what is he going for, Close Combat? No, Sword Stance. He gets Sword Stance. Figured I was just going to use a move he could resist on the Greninja. Sword Stance is there. I Mega Evolve my Charizard, because that's my Mega at the moment, or still on this team at the moment, at the time being, at the time when the match was. And I was going for the Fire Blast. However, I think he's faster. I'm not quite sure. I just have to wait for the Drought to come out. He is faster. Goes for the Close Combat. I'm going to resist it, but he has Sword Stance, so he takes me out there, unfortunately. So I keep forgetting that Charizard isn't a very fast Pokemon at all, so I need to, so yeah, obviously I'm switching my Mega around soon, so Mega Charizard isn't too brilliant anyway. So I send Greninja out again. I don't quite know why. I was just probably predicting or thinking I can, yeah, it's lower special defense now, so predicting I can take him out with a Scold. I go for the Scold. He takes that pretty well, actually, so he must have some EVs in special defense, I think, I'm not sure. Obviously gets to the Close Combat, and that wipes me out because of adaptability and a critical hits and his Sword Stance. So his defense and special defense are now lowered by 2 times. So I'm expecting him to switch out here, really. I'm not expecting him to stay much longer. So I send my Garchomp out, who I'm pretty confident is faster than him anyway, and he doesn't actually switch out, so he just takes the Earthquake and actually gets killed. I should have really switched out to Garchomp in the first place, but seeing how much damage that did there, I don't think it would have been taken him out from where the Greninja attacked him, like before. He then sends his Heliolisk out. I don't quite know why, because then I can just use another Earthquake, and I think that wipes the Heliolisk out in 1. Indeed it does, so Heliolisk doesn't see much screen time today for some reason. Maybe it's just using it as a sort of, just see what I was doing, or whatever, I don't quite know. He then sends out Azumarill, who's still frozen, so I go for an Earthquake, figuring, he's going to stay frozen for at least a turn more. However, he then falls out and goes for a Play Rough, which, unsurprisingly, is going to wipe out Garchomp almost. Not quite, just almost. The Rough Skin also does some more damage to Azumarill there, and the Sunlight then fades, and then we use Earthquake once more, or actually take Garchomp back. I could have probably gone for the Earthquake there, but he probably had Aqua Jet as well, so I'm not sure if he uses Aqua Jet here or not, but he actually, yep, he goes Aqua Tail rather than Aqua Jet, okay. So we were faster, so we could have taken him out, but my Squirtle doesn't take that as well as I hoped. And then goes for a Superpower on me, which I take yeah, actually survived. I take it pretty well. He just should have gone for another Aqua Tail there, rather than a superpower. So I go for the Psycho Cut, which is just going to finish the Azumarill off there. So, not many turns left in this match. So I then go, he sends out his Dragonite, which, you know, I'm not going to be brilliant against. So I went for the Rock Slide, he goes for the Dragon Dance. I figured he was just going to take me out there and then, but he decides to go for a Dragon Dance rather than attack me. So figuring he can, you know, survive an attack, I might go for a Rock Slide here. Might have been a better move than this, because it would have been super effective. But I went for the Psycho Cut. He then goes for the Dragon Claw and takes out my Squidette, or finishes it off at least. So then I switch out to my friend Sylvia, my Sylveon. So obviously Dragon Claw is not going to affect me, so he's going to use Aqua Tail instead, which I'm going to avoid actually, so that might have changed the match if I hadn't avoided that. Changed the match if I hadn't avoided that. And then use this Moonblast, which takes out the Dragonite, and that's Dragonite finished off. So we haven't got many Pokemon to finish off now, just the Aegislash now. I'm not sure if it's any more at all. Aegislash uses Sword Stance. I think I have Shadow Ball on this Sylveon, so then I went for the Shadow Ball obviously. And the Shadow Ball hits the Aegislash, just waiting for the Shadow Ball to actually hit him, and that does decent damage to him. Doesn't finish him off though. He then goes for the stance change and goes for the attack, and obviously goes for the Sacred Sword, which I'm going to resist. I'm not quite sure why I didn't go for a Shadow Sneak or similar. It does less than half damage even with that Sword Stance, and then I finish the Aegislash off with another Shadow Ball. So it was a good game. This one was a good game. Good game, Dillon. Again, I'm using my Pokemon that were donated to me, Exegeo, Garchomp, Greninja. Pretty cool Pokemon. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I shall see you next time. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Goodbye, friends.